Alright, we got southbound aitorack coming out of Greenwood. He's coming up on a medium approach, medium clear signal. I'm not going to zoom in because I might miss the engineer when he waves at me. Number 85, and we got 832 on this one. Let me go up here and I can step back further. These are empty, y'all. I can see through them. Of course, I expect them to be. They're heading back to Ohio to be loaded. Going on the side in Abbeville. There's your bottom end, EOT. I really don't think they're going to line the track, but I'm just going to see. I had to get a crew to clear the train off the main line. I haven't seen the taxi come through. Alright. So we're still lining for the siding. It could mean that Abbeville switcher is going to come in a little bit and do some work in here. I'll go back and check the signals in a little bit. Alright, thank y'all. God bless you. Hope you're enjoying this. Have fun. I'm going to catch some more. Alright, let me explain. This is called an absolute block signal because it's guarding a switch at the north end of the siding. You got another absolute block signal at the south end. Alright. But between here and Greenwood, you're going to have 4 or 5 more signals in there, and those are called intermediate signals. They won't have the white restricted light on them, and if they are red, you can blow past them. You just got to watch out for a train ahead of you. Alright, thank you. Alright, you see it? We got red over yellow over flashing green. It's a medium approach medium. He's going to go to the switch. You see the switch is lined for the siding. He's not going straight down the main line. You got a train down there. So he's going to go into the siding. He can do 35 miles an hour through this switch, 35 miles an hour through the siding. Because these are medium approach, medium clear. Alright, then when he gets to the other end, he's going to have a green signal he can go on out. Because they gave him a clear down here telling him it's clear, so that means the next signal is going to be clear. Or it could be approach or whatever. But he still gets to go through the signal at the bottom end. I doubt it will be an approach, because he's going to be the first train through, so there won't be one ahead of him southbound. Alright, and there's nothing coming at him northbound, at least as far as Cowan Falls. I don't know how far he's cleared to. He's got a siding in Cowan Falls. He's got a siding over at Elberton, I think it's called Norman. And so they can have him cleared all the way to Elberton, I don't know. Alright, thank you. Alright, I'm back down here. I went home and got something to eat and stuff. That's a Union Pacific one. Alright, 5260 is my second locomotive. It's an ES40 DC. and it's equipped with distributed power. These locomotives will probably shut off in a little bit when they get the air made up. They've been sitting there quiet. They crunk up about 20 minutes ago. They've been running for a little bit. That's where your locomotive is right in this section here. Up here is going to be where your alternator or generators are. It depends on whether it's AC or DC. That's your ventilation for this compartment. It blows down in there. It also blows air up to the traction motors on the trucks. And it blows it back down there to the traction motors on that truck. That part up there is your radiator. And down at the bottom is where your air compressor is. Alright, I'm not sure what that box is. But up here would be electrical equipment to help with the traction motors and making of the electricity and stuff. Right up there is the air conditioner. You can hear it still going. It's a hot day, so they're trying to blow it and keep it cool. Alright, I assume that's your air duct for your traction motor. You got one on this side and one on the other side. And maybe I'm wrong, because I don't see one coming back, because I don't guess DC motors need traction motor blowers. I don't know. Oh, there it is over there. Right over here, blow right down into the motor. Alright, the air conditioner just cut off. Alright, this little dampener here, that's an anti-hunt dampener, and what it'll do, sometimes you get a train going down through there, and the front wheel gets shoved over, or like in a curve, it gets shoved over, and it'll go too far over, and it'll smack off the rail and bounce off and hit the other rail, and it just keeps, would do it. I remember the old 4-axles doing that, and it's kind of scary, but, you know, it'll jar you, but I mean, I don't think, you know, whenever I was riding and it was going on, I didn't think we were going to derail or nothing. These are what I call bell-bottom trucks. Looks like a little bell, the journal box and stuff. But it's a rigid truck. I say 8 foot from the center of this wheel, it's 8 foot to the center of that wheel. Yeah, that's straight, rigid truck. In other words, it's trying to go straight while the locomotive's trying to go around the corner. Alright, the motors are still running. Alright, the F on the front, that's what that's for, the F. And you notice it doesn't have a DP up there, so it's not distributed power, so this won't have one on the bottom end. Alright, the yellow cable, coming out and going over there, that's the MU cable. It carries, I forget how many. His pairs of circuit is probably like 16, 17 pair of circuit, I don't remember. Alright, you got air hose hanging down here next to the draw head. The draw head is what you couple them together. That's the knuckle, and that's the draw head. And you can see the pin right there coming down. That's a lift pin type. Sometimes they got them push up from underneath, and sometimes they pick them up from on top. That's your cut lever right there. That's how you uncouple your train. You pull up on that lever, it pulls that pin up, and it allows the knuckle to come open. Alright, this air hose is your main train line air hose. He has a control stand up there and one of the valves on it. Automatic brake, that's the automatic brake. Okay, and you got the 3 hoses over here. One is for the locomotive brake. One is for the sander. And let me see, what's the other one for? Oh, one's main reservoir, one's locomotive brake, and one's to run sanders. If you run a sander, that's put sand on the tracks. That comes out of that hose right down here. You see it going up, coming up. It goes on up in the top up there. Right up there. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's going through a hole in the floor, and that's because your sandbox is up there. See on top right there, your little, excuse me, right on top right up there. You got one there and you got one on the other side. There's 2 tanks in there for sand, and that's for sanding your trucks down there. Alright, you got ditch lights and you got headlights. Alright, and CSX likes to put plows on them, but I guess that's to keep trees off the tracks and stuff, because it's not like we have a bunch of snow around here. Alright, also in that nose, that's where the toilet is. And if they need to put any electrical gear in there, they also store electrical gear in there. I think the toilet's going to be on the bigger side to the left of the door on this one. Alright, so about right where the window is where the stairs are going to go up. You climb up these steps here. You go in the door, you walk across, you step up the steps, and well, actually you go through the door, then you step up the steps, because you don't want to hit the top up here going up a set of stairs down here. So you wait till you go past that, and you go up the steps. There's 2 seats on this side, usually like one in the middle, and then you got the engineer control stand, this seat on the other side. Alright, going up high, those 2 vents are for dynamic brake. High voltage, they'll be taking 600 volts coming off the traction motors. When they turn it in dynamic brakes, they quit being motors and they turn them into generators. They generate electricity. That goes out these cables right here. They're going up in there, they're going up in that cabinet there, and they get switched around and sent up to the grills up the top, and that becomes your dynamic brakes. You just take the electricity you make and you use it up making heat, and usually when you hear the dynamic brakes, what you're hearing is the coolant fan blowing those grids off up there, like coaster grids. Sorry about lost my balance. But anyway, so that's the dynamic brake. The more electricity you make down here, the more braking effort it puts on the locomotive, and that'll hold the train back. Alright, that's your fuel tank. Hold on. Said my phone is overheating. gotta go get in the shade someplace and tell me it's wanting to cut my phone down. Alright, so I'm going to end this and I'm going to look for another train, y'all. I assume we're going to have something out of Greenwood. Probably have a little switcher coming and stuff. Alright, thank you. Bye. What he was adjusting was electrical for the lights in the signal box over there. Alright, everything's shut down. Got the handbrakes tied down. The crew's loading up. The engineer's already in the cab. Here comes the conductor. That's train 587, y'all. X587. That means it's an extra. And they're fixing to leave town, go back to Greenwood so they can go home and get them some sleep. They've been up working for about 8, 9, 10 hours. I don't know how long. Let me go ask them. How long y'all been out on the run? Well, he didn't want to talk. Alright. There's the engineer coming back. There's an old rail anchor right there. They put those on to anchor the rails to keep them from expanding and blowing the track out. Alright, thank you. Alright, here comes the engineer, I believe. That might be the conductor. The engineer. Apparently they don't have a crew for it, so they're going to tie it down. They'll bring a crew back later on. Down the handbrakes, y'all. All you gotta do is mash the button and they'll snug themselves up. He's done that one for that one. He's going up to the locomotive now. I would assume his conductor's still out. I assume the conductor's down there still tying down handbrakes on the cars. He's probably got about 5, 6, 7, 8. Depends on how many cars he has. I don't know. Let me pause this. Hard to see, but you can see all the way up into the cab. Alright, thank you. Hey buddy! Train crew changing out, y'all. How you doing?
Doing all right, brother.
Alright, I got red over red over red southbound on the main line. The switch is lying for the side and he just hasn't cleared the train out of Greenwood yet. We got a train sitting down at the depot waiting on the main line for this train out of Greenwood. I don't know who he's going to be. It might be the Advil switcher. I don't know. Alright, bye. Alright, I got red signals on the main line and the siding, but I hear a train coming up from behind me. It might be the Advil switcher, I don't know. I'm going to stick around and look and see what I see. Alright, that's looking towards Greenwood. That's looking towards Atlanta. Alright, thank you.